got the cow catcher next. So this is kind of the front part of the train. I'm looking at a couple things here. It's going to line up to the bottom. I'm noticing this shape. It's bigger on the bottom compared to on top. So we're going to use a tool called loft. And also, if you notice, the bottom of this is hollowed out. Another great tool for that is called shell. So let's take a look and see what we got to do for this one. All right, here's where we last left off. We got wheels, we got a body, we got smokestack. We got to put that cow catcher up on the front. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to do, first off, looking back at my drawing, I'm going to have it line up to the bottom, and then I'm also noticing a bunch of dimensions, so we're going to go from there. Okay, so the bottom of it got dimensions this way, so I'm going to keep track of that shortly. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so my first sketch, I'm going to start this sketch on the bottom of the train. Okay, so sketch 11 is starting down there. Look at it from the front. And personally, when I draw these, I'm going to start off with it drawn outside of the shape, and then I'm going to attach it to the front, make sure that the size is good there. Okay, so let's go ahead and create some lines. First off, I'm seeing it is 1.8 across, and then again, this is going to be 0.25 up, 1 total, 0.9 across this way. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and make that shape. First off, I am going to also add, I'm just going to start. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. It's going to come out, let me double check. I think this is, yeah, looks like that's going to be 90 degrees this way. It's going to come out to the top here. I'm going to go ahead and line that up. And let's go ahead and line that up. All right, I believe those are 90 degrees from the look of it. Okay, cool. So next couple things, personally, I'm going to find the midpoint here of this line. And I know it's the midpoint by doing that little box. And let's go ahead and make sure those all line up. Okay, so next I'll go vertical. This should line up to the origin, center that. This should line up to this if that's not done already. Okay, next up, I also want to make sure things are symmetrical on both sides. So I'm going to do equal constraint on that and that, and then equal on this and that. All right, let's start putting some numbers to it. So along the bottom, 1.8 going across the bottom. So dimension here is 1.8. We already got that. Perfect. Next up, it's 0.25 going up here. This is 0.25. 1 inch to the top of the peak from here to here is 1. And then I think I saw from here to here is 0.9. Nailed it. All right, finally, let's double check if I can drag this thing around right now. Notice everything is moving. I just need to lock this to this top edge. So I think coincident constraint, this point to the origin, everything is black. We are solid. Cool, hit check. Okay, so next up, this entire thing is going to get lofted upwards. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a new sketch that is above this. I'm going to use the plane tool. It's going to be an offset plane based off from this bottom sketch. Notice it's going down right now. I'll flip the direction. And I'm going to use the height of this entire loft, so 0.75. Okay, so I'll call that 0.75. And this is going to represent the top portion of that cow catcher. So hit the check mark. Now I'm going to create a sketch on that plane that I just made. Let's look at it from above. Okay, so this top part is going to be 1.20. This still is 0.25, and then this top section, as shown there, is going to be 0.75 to the tip, 0.6 across. All right, so let's start drawing this out. I'll grab a line, have it come across like this, come up, have that line up, have this line up here, and then finish it. Let's do similar things as we did earlier. This and this should be equal. I'm going to use the midpoint constraint in this case. Midpoint, the origin should be in the midpoint of that line. That locks that in. And now we're just adding some sizes. So again, 1.2 across here, this line, 1.2. This was, if I remember correctly, 0.25. And then from here to here was, oh, where is it? Over here, 0.75. And then that's already locked in. So we're good to go. Okay, hit the check. So the way Loft's going to work is I'm going to connect these two sketches by using this tool. So Loft, it's a new part. The profiles is going to be from this bottom one to the top. And right off the bat, boom, it slides in material in between those two. Right now, it's trying to add it to the train body. So I'm going to make sure that's a new part. Again, change that to new, hit the check. And we've got the main chunk of our cow catcher done. All right, from here, let's see what we still got to do. We got some pegs. The front portion's got a little shape to it as well. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me see. All right, so it's a 0.2 offset from this shape. So I think this is the best way to do this. All right, cool. So I'm going to do a new sketch on one of these faces. So right now it's drawing on top of that. Let's look at it normal, so straight on from that face. And best tool to use for this is called an offset tool. I'm not seeing it on initial glance, so I'm going to go ahead and search for it. Offset, here it is. Okay, so the way offset works is you choose an existing shape and it will offset it a given direction. Right now it's offsetting it outwards. I'm going to flip the direction and then that value was 0.1. Okay, so you saw right here, 0.1 is typical. Now I've got that interior shape. Hit the check mark. It turns black because it's all constrained. Hit the check, and now I'm just going to do a simple extrude of that shape. It's going to be removing it, going inwards. Let's see how much. It's going in by 0.05. I believe that's what it looks like. Yep, I believe so. Okay, so we're going to change that to 0.05. Hit the check. All right, and I've got that little insert. And instead of doing it all over again, this is a great spot for the mirror tool. I'm going to do a feature mirror. The feature was that extrusion I just did. The mirror plane is going to be the plane that cuts this everything in half. I hid all my planes earlier, so I'm going to open them back up. In my case, it's the right plane that's cutting it in half. Hit the check. I've got it on both sides. Perfect. Okay, last two things, I guess. First, I'm going to hollow this out. Again, the shell feature is great for this. You can hollow the entire thing out, or in this case, we're going to remove the bottom of it. The thickness of that shell is being shown. Let's see. I think I saw it earlier. Oh, right here is 0.5 is that section, and it's 0.1 for that. So 0.1 already set. Face to remove, bottom, and now I've got a hollowed out bottom portion. Fantastic. Okay, and lastly, I got to add some pegs. So I think the way I'm going to do this, let's see, what makes the most sense? I might do a section view, but instead of this way, let's go ahead and do it off from the front, going. Maybe this isn't. You know what? I take it back. No section view. I'm just going to go through here, hide the train body, come to the back of my smokestack, and I'm going to hide the magnet too. Look at it from the back, and let's go ahead and just add those pegs to the back. All right, so I've got this little design right here. These 3 points, I'm going to add some circles. So let's come over here, sketch on the back side, and oh, actually, what I maybe could do, well, let's just do this way. All right, so I'm going to add a few little circles. I'm going to kind of place them randomly. I know this one's going to line up to the middle. Again, kind of randomly here. And I'm going to make sure these are horizontal, eventually. I know they're all going to be equal, so that'll save me some time if I just do that. And now I just got to add some dimensions. So each of these are 0.125 from the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. 0.125. Make sure that one's good. And then from this edge, 0.275. From here to here, 0.275. From here to here, 0.275. Okay. And let's see, this is 0.625 between the two. From here to here, 0.625. And then from here to here, I believe is what I saw. 0.625. Already got it. And then lastly, I believe I need to add the sizes. Each of them are, that's the chamfer. Let's see. Oh, right here. 0.125 typical. So diameter, dimension, I mean, 0.125. Nailed it. Okay, they're all black, locked in. Perfect. Hit the check mark. Let's go ahead and extrude those to the size. They are each, let's see here, I thought I saw it earlier. Why am I not seeing the size of it? Oh, it is 0.125. My apologies. All right, so let's go ahead and extrude all of those. Boom, boom, boom. This one we do want to add, and they're each going 0.125. Okay, I'll rotate over. That's looking good. Hit the check mark. And the last thing we got to do is just add some chamfers. That should be quick. Here's your chamfer tool. That creates a little outer edge. Each of them is 0.01 45 degrees. So here, here, here. And they're going to be 0.01 45 degrees. Hit the check. Cow catcher is done. Okay, and as we've been doing earlier, I'm going to just organize a little bit, put all these into a folder, right click, add selection to folder, cow catcher. Come down here, part 8, right click, rename cow catcher. I'll unhide my train body magnet, and we are looking good. If you want, like always, you can add color, right click on it. You can edit appearance, make it look like what you want it to look like. I'll make that piece blue. All right, check, all done.